Hey guys, so after reviewing the check-in that I gave you the other day, as well as having some conversations with you in class, it's become pretty apparent that we are still having a hard time with ethos, pathos, and logos. So I'm going to go through some of these slides again and offer some different examples that maybe you can use for your Declaration of Independence and help you get a better understanding of how to use these devices. We are going to focus our attention on these rhetorical devices in the slideshow. So we will start with rhetorical appeals, including ethos, pathos, and logos. And the things that we want to highlight here, pay attention to, is that ethos isn't just about ethics. It's also about character. It's about establishing the morality of the speaker. Are they a good person? Do they have good intentions? Are they credible? Do you believe what they have to say? Are they, a trustworthy person who is worth listening to and sounds like they are professional in their field? So some things that you might want to reference in your own document would be God or religion, claiming that something is the right thing to do. If you have any history that reflects good deeds, using we to imply that you are including everyone and not just yourself, so this is not a selfish endeavor. And if you want to use expert testimony to support your ideas. So if we could put this in the context of the Declaration of Independence, you'll notice that Jefferson mentioned God, right? So he does this by saying that we have these God-given rights. He mentions the Creator. He mentions the supreme judge of the world. So several mentions of God indicate that he might be an ethical person. You also notice that he never says I in the document. He's constantly referring to the we. So the we being the people of the United States. So these are two examples. So examples that you might want to use in your own document. Again, you could mention God or any religious philosophy. You could make the claim that it's the right thing to do, that whatever your conflict is, if it's with your parents or your brother and sister or a friend, telling them that what they're doing is wrong and that what you're trying to do is right. And then if you want to reference your own personal history, including anything that you've done to indicate that you're a good person, are you a trustworthy person, you do your chores, you help your brother and sister, you do well in school. And again, you could use we in your own if you want. So indicating that this isn't just about you and that you are trying to do something that helps the greater good. So all of these would be ethos, invoking character, looking at your credibility and your ethics. Looking at pathos, again, this is an emotional appeal. So this is pathology, someone's emotions. So you're trying to get the audience to agree with you. So you either want to get them angry, fearful, patriotic, or sympathetic. And again, of these, anger is the easiest one to use. Trying to get people mad is what calls them into action. And we do this using charged diction. So this has an emotional connotation. In other words, we associate these words with some emotion, either sadness or anger, patriotism. So you could tell a story if you want to try and get people's attention, telling them about something that's happened that makes them angry or sad. Or you can use imagery to try and indicate how the story is making you feel. So again, in the Declaration of Independence, he uses a lot of anger, as he uses words like ravaged, tyrant, and words like that. He's also trying to strike fear into the readers, letting them know how terrible things are. He calls on their patriotism, trying to stand up for their country. And he's trying to get sympathy from people as well, making them feel bad for the Americans. So if you're doing this in your own document, you may want to use some words that indicate that you're upset with what's going on. And you can use words like, it breaks my heart, he's tearing us apart, or any words like that that indicate that you're upset about the position that you're in. And then on to logos, which is logic. And there are a couple ways of using this. You can provide evidence to support your claims, or you can use deductive reasoning, and we focus specifically on syllogism. So in the Declaration of Independence, he uses the phrase, all men are created equal, indicating that if all men are equal, then we must be equal. And so that's the syllogism. And then the list of grievances about the things that King George has done is his other use of logos. So you automatically have logos in your own document as you create your list of grievances. And then if you want to include a syllogism, you can do so by saying all people are deserving of respect, all people deserve privacy, or anything that includes all people. So that if it includes all them, then it should also include you. So if we look at the concept of a syllogism, you start with a major premise, work through a minor premise, and come to a conclusion. So again, if all people are created equal, then I must be equal, and therefore we must do what it takes to earn that equality. So it follows the deductive logic of A equals B and B equals C, therefore A must equal C. So in your case it might be all people are deserving of privacy, therefore I am deserving of privacy, so I'm going to be putting a lock on my door. Another example of a syllogism is that if we were talking about our freedom of speech, any rule that infringes on our right to speak freely is unconstitutional. So the dress code is an expression of self. So someone trying to take away your right to wear a particular t-shirt would be unconstitutional. So that is your conclusion. So if you still have any questions about ethos, pathos, and logos, please come and see me and I can work through some examples with you.